It's absolutely wrong.
The next question is from Lisa, who's a United fan.
Lisa.
Manchester United are 4 points off the tally this time last year when Eric Ten Hag was verge of getting sacked. If Amorim was to leave Manchester United, who would replace him?
Oh.
Toss a coin. Honestly, it's just bring someone in.
I mean, he's not been sacked yet. What do you think the Sunderland game gives him a period of sort of grace for?
They're always going to
beat
beat Sunderland. What did I say to you?
I know.
You know, when you say gives him grace, from the time he's been there to now, how much more grace do you need in respect of a team that's got to progress and do better than what they're doing? How much more time? I don't know what you say. If Sunderland beat him, that's it.
Yeah.
It's like leading up to this
Maybe
point
we
now.
should
You're
be
thinking.
talking, I know it's a question, but our tone sometimes can be big pressure. But it's a mad world of football management now, isn't it? I always say give the man a chance.
Still, Roy?
Yeah, I'd still say give the man a chance. Absolutely. Another week.
We'll get back to Keano in just a quick second, but remember, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification button so that you know when the next Big D video hits. And as ever, if there's something on your mind, if something is bubbling up inside of you that you need to express, please express it in the comments. The Big D reads all of the comments, and he's always interested in what is on your mind. Anyway, in this clip, Roy Keane gives his brutally honest opinion about who he would like to replace Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. And they also discuss who they think is the best central midfielder in the Premier League today. And it's an interesting choice. And to be honest, it's a choice that I never thought Roy Keane would pick. But hey-ho, the decision has been made. And to be fair, given his recent form, fair enough. Anyway, stick around for after the clip because the Big D is going to be giving his thoughts on what the guys had to say. Here they are.
Who's the managers that have been speculated? Gareth Southgate, I seen again. That came up.
Is there a manager that let's just go to Utopia where you can pick any manager in the world right now and bring him in? You know that manager is going to be a success at Manchester United. Is there one manager that you think?
You don't know, Gary, don't you?
No, I agree. But my point is, if you could say, let's just go off the shelf and pick one manager, plump them in that sort of manager's chair at Manchester United and think, right, that's as certain as you can probably get that person's going to be successful. Who is that manager?
Listen,
I've said it for years. I'd like to see Atletico Madrid, Simone go in there.
Simone.
I'd like to see him go in there. I know his mate's gone to Arsenal, but I think he would just create havoc, but good havoc. I think he'd rock up to that place and say, hey, this is how you do things. I've no guarantee, but I just like to see his personality, even his track record.
Conte.
I think I'd go with that. I'd go with Simeone.
I
like Simeone.
And people might think styles of football. They beat Real Madrid, but they scored 5 last weekend. This idea that, again, he's defensive. Yeah, he doesn't like his team's giving up too many goals or chances, but they can play a bit.
They're fighting.
Yeah, they can fight. You saw it at Liverpool a few weeks ago. The team aren't as great as they were a few years ago, but they still have fighting spirit. He's on the sideline causing, he got sent off that night, didn't he? I'd like a big personality.
I think he gets talented players working in a ridiculous way.
Yeah. Like, but he had his mate. His mate was with him at Arsenal, the director of football. Yeah, he was a big. Yeah, he was a big part of the success, I think, at Atletico, the recruitment side of it.
Yeah, that's a good shout, Roy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just think about it. I said on Saturday actually after the Chelsea-Liverpool game, and I saw your piece on Sunday night where you disagreed with me about. I said that I thought Casado now was the best midfield player in the league, and 2 midfield players over there.
What a goal, by the way.
Yeah, and I mentioned obviously Gravenberch and Rodri over the last couple of years, and Declan Rice. They're the sort of competitors for that sort of position. McAllister's done well at Liverpool as well, and there's a couple of others. But who do you see as being the best? If you could put one player into United or to City now, and it was Casado or it was Declan Rice, who would you say was the best midfield player in the league?
Just jump in here something as well. Scholesy, to be fair, when I was with him yesterday, he's a big fan. I'm a big fan of his, but he mentioned Tonali of Newcastle.
Yeah.
Okay, it's better than those two.
Well, I think he did, yeah.
Okay. I imagine the 2 lads at Newcastle have done brilliantly well. I mean, Tonali and
their midfield's been brilliant.
Oh, it's brilliant.
To be fair, when
Maybe they
you
don't
watch
get the coverage
tonight,
but you do watch him. He does definitely have an impact. I'm probably not going with anyone apart from Declan Rice.
Best midfield player in the league. Best midfield player in the league.
I'm a big fan of Declan Rice, to be honest. I just think he's got a bit of everything. I like now that he's pushing forward a little bit more, and I just love his work rate, his endeavour. And I think what people always like to see when you speak about the goals is the 30-yarders and whatever else, but he's back in his own box, like blocking shots. And I would probably
set
pick
piece
Kind of
delivery.
complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind
I'd
of
go with Rice every day of the week.
Over Casado.
Just that little bit, that package. He's got a little bit extra on all the other parts of Casado. I think I'd go with Rice.
Yeah.
Declan Rice emphatically right. You don't want to close it off?
Yeah, Declan Rice.
To go with an Irish fella, didn't I? Rice.
Always have to get
His
that in.
performances speak for themselves.
Well, for a start, it doesn't look like Ruben Amorim is going to be leaving anytime soon after Sir Jim Ratcliffe's interview with The Times, which the Big D made a video on just last night. So it looks like he's going to be staying at the very least until the end of the season. And if Manchester United are able to secure the services of a central midfielder in January, then perhaps that might just propel Ruben Amorim's team forward. But then again, we've had quite a hard start to the season. We'll have played the world champions, recent European champions in Manchester City, and we'll be playing the champions next week. So, considering we've got as many points as we have now, and if Bruno Fernandes knew how to take a penalty, would have been further up the table. So it's just fine margins. But at the very least, Ruben Amorim seems to be staying until the end of the season. But Roy's talking about Diego Simeone. I don't want Diego Simeone at Manchester United. He's got too much of history against Manchester United after he got David Beckham sent off in the 1998 World Cup, and then obviously playing for Inter Milan in that big match in the Champions League quarter-final in 1999. So there's a bit of a rivalry. It's almost like signing Steven Gerrard as Manchester United manager. Again, well, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's the same ballpark. It's signing a rival to take over at Manchester United, and I feel as though it's a signing that doesn't need to happen. So Diego Simeone, I don't think is the man to take over at Manchester United. And plus, Diego Simeone is, what can I say? He's not a prestige manager, right? He's the underdog kind of manager, right? Now, Man United are a prestige club in the same ilk as Real Madrid. So Diego Simeone seems to be the kind of player that needs to be punching up at a giant, like, Atletico Madrid to Real Madrid, that kind of thing, But sometimes a manager needs to come along who has lofty expectations of the club that they take over. They are prestige managers who like to dominate. Alex Ferguson was like that. Jose Mourinho was like that. Pep Guardiola's like that. These are prestige managers. Jurgen Klopp, Diego Simeone, those guys, they are not the kind of managers that would suit Manchester United. Although, I would be curious if Jurgen Klopp did, in fact, take over at Manchester United, although that ain't going to happen. In terms of the best central midfielder in the league, Declan Rice, he seems to be a fantastic player. Fair enough. He seems to be box-to-box now. He's really grown into that role. He's a fine athlete. Okay. Maybe in terms of form, but are we not classing Bruno Fernandes as a central midfielder? That's just a question I'd like answered, really, because if we're classing Bruno Fernandes as a midfielder, then why not have Bruno Fernandes as the best midfielder in the league? I'm not saying... No, I am. I am saying Bruno Fernandes probably is the best midfielder in the league. Unfortunately, he's not being utilised fully, and he's not having his talents maximised in the current system, much to the Big D's chagrin, but still. But anyway, I digress. Declan Rice is a very good player. But yeah, who do you guys think should take over at Manchester United in the event Ruben Amorim takes over? Personally, I think Conte is a good shout. Proven track record. He can play 3-4-3, but he can also adapt. He's won the Premier League before as well. He would be my first choice. But to be honest, we might as well keep Ruben Amorim and not jump back on the manager merry-go-round. In terms of the best central midfielder, well, the Big D is loyal to Bruno. But who do you guys think? Thoughts in the comments, and the Big D will see you in the next one.